Good morning, researchers. You are welcome in my YouTube channel, My Research Guide. In this session, we will discuss about thesis writing. So, first of all, it is very important to know about the thesis. The thesis is generally a long paper that serves as a final project report for any degree. It is submitted for completion of undergraduate honors, master or doctoral degree. Thesis is a long document, as we said, so it may contain the hundred of pages. And thesis are the scholarly in the nature and allow the student to contribute valuable research in their particular field of study. Major part of a thesis work involves mainly research and then writing. It generally has the advanced research design and analysis on a particular research topic. When scholar writing a thesis, he or she will have to prove or the disprove a hypothesis about the particular research. Their conclusion have to backed by extensive research, new findings, learn description of how they got to their conclusion. Because at the initial stage of the research, scholar set the few goals and set few objectives. So in this document, they have to write each and everything about the completion of this task and how they got their outcomes or objectives. In degree program, student also have to perform a oral defense of the thesis in front of the experts. So first of all, it is very important to know about the main component of the thesis, because when we start writing the thesis, so generally major component of a thesis are title page, abstract, table of contents, list of figures, list of tables, introduction, literature review, methods or the methodology, results, discussion, conclusion, acknowledgements, references, or appendices. So, title page, abstract, table of content, list of figure, list of table, these are under the title pages. And from introduction, the chapters of the thesis starts. So, we will discuss one by one. So, first of all, title page. So, it is the first page of the thesis, and the main component under this page are the title, title of our research, title of our thesis. And title is, you can say, it should be same word to word from your synopsis. Then name of the degree, faculty, program or the course name, then detail of the students, then detail of the supervisor, university logo or any copyright symbol, then organizational detail like name of the organization, and at the end year, date or any session should be mentioned. So there is a sample. So the title page include these things, and in this particular university, this particular pattern is followed. First of all, you can see here title of the thesis, then few phrases used to make the flow of the content. So thesis submitted to this university for award of the degree, then name of the degree, then discipline, then submitted by the name of the candidate, there may be another registration number of the candidate, then detail of the supervisor, their designation, then logo of the university, again detail of the organization and with date, that is the month and year. There is few title pages we have we will discuss. So in this sample you can see here the first is the title page. So this is the title of this thesis. A thesis submitted to the name of the university. This is the logo of the university. So logo or other you can say details may be as per the requirement or any format of the organization, but the main details are as per in this page. So you can see here name of the degree, then name of the faculty, again detail of scholar with the registration number, then organization date and month and year of the submission of that particular document. Next is the candidate declaration. So this particular document is specific for individual organization. In this document, candidate have to put the name of their thesis, title, name of the degree and the name of university. Here you can see the time span to complete that particular work, that is January 2017 to November 2022. Under the supervision, then the name of the supervisors, name of the candidate, then the certificate or you can say undertaking from the supervisors, and then about the final defense in front of the committee. So in the committee there is supervisor, co-supervisor and the external examiner or the expert of that particular viva or chairperson of the committee. Then the abstract. So what we should include in the abstract we will discuss in our next slide. So I am skipping this here. Now, table of content. So in the table of content, each and everything we have included in the thesis we have to mention with the number of pages. Suppose first of all we have written about the candidate declaration. So on which page it, so we have to show the page number, then abstract page number. So likewise these are the title pages, and from chapter first these are the main chapter of the thesis. So the title pages, the numbering should be in the Roman like this, and for the chapters these are the chapters, so these are the page numbers. Now how you insert or you can say write these thing in the particular format, or what is the way to write this? So I am showing you, this is generally a table. First of all, insert a table and write the particular description or the, you can say, component. Then this side you may write the page number as per the requirement, right? So when in the title pages, generally there is need to write the first page, numbering of the first page. Suppose candidate declaration is start from the page second, so we have to write the page number second. So declaration is in the only single page, so we need to write the only page number 2. But when we write the abstract, so it is of the 2 pages. So generally try to write the first and the last page with the use of the hyphen. In the acknowledgement, same. Then table of. So these components may be changed as per your requirement, as per your instruction from the organization, or what we have writing in our thesis. Suppose in your case there is no list of the publication, there may be no abbreviations, so you can skip such type of the uh, component or the things. Now, chapter. So this is the chapter 1 introduction. So when we write the chapter name, then we will use the first and last page. Suppose the introduction is start from the first and it end at the 7. So we have to write first hyphen 7. Similarly, chapter second, that is the literature review, it start from the 8 and ends at the 55. But under the literature review, there is so many subsections, subheadings, heading, subheading, like this. So under this chapter, we will write the only first page of that particular heading. There is no need to write the first and last page, but in the chapter we should write. Second main thing is, in the introduction we should avoid the headings and subheadings. There should be only the name of the chapter, and each and every detail should be included in the without any heading or subheadings in the introduction section. Yeah. Now the literature review chapter. Suppose first heading is the magnesium alloy and we are writing this like 2.1. So how you will write the 2.1 and then name of the particular heading? So it is very simple. You have to write 2.1, then press Ctrl plus Tab and write the name of the head. You can say, sorry, Ctrl plus Tab, and then you may write like this. Then see here, this is the third heading of the chapter second, 2.3. So you may write 2.3, then press Ctrl plus Tab and write the this heading. Now 2.3 heading have some subheadings. Then just like write 2.3.1 and Control Tab. Then write the name of subheadings. Microstructure. Sorry. This is. Now press at the initial stage and again press Control and Tab. It will automatically shift to the right. So in this way you can write the things and you can structure the table of content in the well manners. So I think it is clear to all. Yes. So similar way you can see here in the chapter 4th, when we write the name of the main chapter, then first page, or you can say starting page of that chapter and the end page of the chapter. And in the subheadings, only the first page of that particular topic we have to mention. And after completing this, you have to just hide the grid lines. There is no border. So now you can see this is perfect. Next is list of figure. In the list of figures, we will insert the table in the similar way as we have used in the table of content. So we need to write figure number, title, and then page number. So pick the figure number, what is the title of the figure, and then page number. So you can write each and everything, because in the figure title we have to just copy and paste here from the chapters. So the title of the figure should be same as in our thesis. And after completing this, you have to just hide the grid lines in this way. Next is the list of tables. So in the similar way, we will insert the table and then write all the details as per our requirement, or you can say we have used in our thesis, and then after completion of this we will unhide like this. And if you are using any abbreviations, then you may use in this way, and these detail are also perfectly written by the inserting the table. And after completion, just unhide the grid line, hide the grid lines. So these are the title pages of the thesis. Now after the title pages, student have to follow the guideline of the thesis writing, because each and every organization have few guidelines, or means a specific structure for the thesis. So scholar have to follow the organization rules strictly while writing the final thesis. So there is one or two sample from the organization we have included. So just see here. For a particular organization, there is standard format for the thesis. So we will go through this. Yes. So this is the title page, or the front page, you can say. So student have to prepare the title page as it is in this format. So title of thesis should be pasted here, then name of the degree, then you can say faculty, then name of the subject for a particular master course, then detail of the student, name of the supervisor, then university logo, name of the department, organization detail, and then month and year. I think this is very similar as we have discussed. Now, second page is the certificate or the undertaking from the student. So this is the predefined format by the organization, and student have to put the title of the thesis, name of the student with the registration number, name of the degree, and then uh, signature of the supervisor with the designation name and the department and the place and date. So these details should be as per the format given by the organization. Then declaration, then acknowledgement. Acknowledgement thus is to acknowledge who have helped in your research work. So you have to write these things in your own way, but you have to follow the guideline. Write an acknowledgement for maximum of the 1 page. It means this limit you have to follow. Then next is the abstract. So you have to check the what are the limitation. Abstract should be around 300 words for master students and up to 500 for the PhD scholar. So you have to follow this limit. Then you can see here abstract should highlight the thesis, means each and every thing that you have included in your thesis must be reflected in the abstract. Around 500 in within the 500 words. At the end of the abstract, 20 keywords should be mentioned, and keywords are the important buzzwords of the thesis. So there is need to write the 20 keywords of your research domain at the end of the abstract, like this. Then abbreviations. I think we have discussed this thing in our yes. Then list of figure, if any, your thesis, so you may write. Then list of figures. So you have to follow the same sequence as defined, or you can say as per the format given by your organization. So you may use this type of the details. Chapter first, these figures, this page number should be written here. So you may use the table format. Just insert a table, write the same thing in the similar manner, and then hide the grid lines. There is chapter second, like this. So this is just to guide the scholar how to use, or you can say how to structure the various component under the thesis. Then the list of table in the similar way. Then the table of content. You may see here in the table of content, the title pages should be written like this, and page number in the Romans for the title pages, and then in the chapter there should be also numbering is the 1 2 like this. X is just for what is the value given by the scholar as per this particular document. X is a variable here. So this is the general formatting. So you have to follow the same as defined by the organization. Now you can see here what are the chapters. Introduction, then literature survey, then material and experimental techniques or the methodology. Fourth may be given by the scholar as per his requirement. It may be like results and discussion, then conclusion and future scope. References, appendices, index, curriculum vitae, list of publication. This is the back cover of the thesis. So each and everything described by the organization. So you have to go through these instructions, and if you see here, printing of the thesis, even the page size is also given, and both side printing is required. So when the both side printing is required means you have to set your margin as per printing in the case of the both side. Line spacing is 1.5. So before writing, you have to go through the instruction of the organization. In the table figure, how to write the name of the table, name of the figure means caption of the table or figures. And about the references, format of the references, how you will uh, write the references. Like these are the author's name, year, then the title of the paper, then the name of the journal in short, and then volume and the page numbers. Because the references are the written in the different ways for the conference proceeding, for the journal, for book, and for the chapters or any web links. So each and everything is described in detail by the organization, right? And in the similar way, there is another format or the sample that is from the NITTTR Chandigarh. So this is just office order, and from here guideline for the pre-thesis and the thesis, final thesis. So font size, chapter heading should be 16 uppercase bold, then subheading, subtitle, and subtitle like this. Text should be in the 12 times Roman. Spacing is 1.5. So each and every instructions given here. The reference style for the journal article, for the conference article like this. So scholar have to follow the detail instruction of the organization. Then the chapter 1 title. The sequence of the chapter is first chapter introduction, then literature survey. In literature survey, there should be two headings mandatory. That first is the literature review, and second is the interference drawn from the literature review. Means formulation of the research problem. And proposed work, that is the third chapter. Then methodology chapter. References and bibliography. It should not be a chapter and should be included at the end. And sequence. First is the title page, then student declaration, then certificate from the supervisor, then abstract, acknowledgement, table of content, list of figure, list of table, list of abbreviations, then chapters, then conclusion and future work, references, list of publication out of this thesis and appendices. And report should be printed both sides. Starting pages should be Roman numbered without number on the title page. Thesis should be hard bounded with the black color and the golden print, that is engrossed. So this is the title page. So I think we have discussed this thing, then the declaration. These are the formats. So main thing is that you have to follow this instruction of your organization, because general things are the same, but there may be some specific instructions from your organization, right? Now, the first main thing in the thesis, that is the abstract. So in abstract, what we have to include, what we have to exclude, what is the important we have to write in the abstract, how will collect the information of the complete thesis of the our research work in the abstract, because abstract is the just like a trailer of a film, and that is very important to write very effective. So abstract give the sufficient details so the reader can decide whether or not to write your thesis or read your thesis. The quality of abstract strongly influence the reviewer or the expert comment on your thesis. When we are sending our thesis or any research document for review or to the expert, if our abstract is, you can say, very attractive, then it is, you can say, some probability to get the good remarks from the reviewer or the expert. Abstract summarizes up to 2 pages as per the guideline of the organization. Abstract, when you are writing the abstract, be concise, remove the unnecessary words, phrases, and use shorter sentences. Generally, you may write your abstract at any time during the writing work. You may draw, or you can say write the abstract in parallel when you are writing the result section or the conclusion, but finalize this particular component at the end, because it must reflect the complete information of your thesis. So at the end, try to remove unnecessary words or the phrases from your abstract. Thesis abstract should address the 6 question, because when we are try to write the thesis, and after written completion of the thesis, we have to finalize the abstract that must reflect the complete research work. So the generally question from the scholars that what we have to write in the abstract. So there is 6 question we have included. So if a scholar answer these 6 question from the thesis, then we can say that abstract is appropriate. So first one is the reason for writing the thesis. Why we are writing this thesis or why we are doing this research. Second one is current approaches and gap in the literature about your topic. What you have find the gap in the knowledge, and what are the current approaches in that particular research work. What are the research questions and aim of the study. Which methodology have you used in your research work? What are the main outcome of your study? And the conclusion and implication of your research work. So these are the 6 questions. If a scholar is efficiently answer these questions in the abstract, then we can say the abstract is appropriate. So we will discuss one by one. So in the abstract, first of all, there is need to include the introduction and the background. So introduction and background means what is the motivation? Why to conduct a research? Answer of the first question. Then there is need to objectives, means problem statement. What are the objective you have defined for your research? Then material, method and technique, means your approach in the thesis, in the research work. So what methods or technique you have used Then results and finding means outcome of your research work. And then interpretation of the results means your conclusion, or conclusion in the sense that what is the solution to the research problem you have taken in the your study. So few things that help in the writing of a thesis, sorry, abstract of the thesis, and it may be efficient. So first of all, give a good first impression by writing the short and clear sentences. Do not repeat the title of your thesis in the abstract. Do not cite any reference in the abstract. Use keyword from your thesis. Respect the word limit defined by your organization. Abstract should be self-contained summary of your research work, so there is no need to write any complex term in the abstract. Just focus on the 4 or 5 points, concept or finding of your research. There is no need to write each and everything from your thesis. And after writing, edit the abstract very carefully to improve, because we have to you can say maximize the impact of our abstract. So we have to edit, we have to improve, we have to update, and avoid the lengthy background information. Do not mention anything in the abstract that is not discussed in the thesis. Avoid the overstatements, and never spin your finding, contribution, and the significance to make your research sound grander and more influential that it actually is. Always try to write the actual outcomes, or you can say significance of your work in the abstract. There is no need to spin the outcome of the research. There is an example of the abstract for a thesis work. So you may go through this. In this study, I will investigate the role that local government play in the climate governance. Local governments have responsibility for a number of policy areas, from waste to housing, and vary in size and power. The study investigates their behavior in the context of a number of policy area. EM theory is used to make the sense of results and to develop a new theory of climate change. So this is the abstract of a thesis. So what is opinion about this abstract? How you know that it is appropriate or no? As we have discussed few questions, so just remind the questions and think, in my opinion, it is not appropriate, because it does not discuss the reason why the thesis was written. That is the first question. It does not outline the gap in the literature. It failed to outline the research questions or aim of the study. It does not discuss the methodology. It does not discuss the outcome and the findings, and fail to discuss the conclusion and the implication of the research. It means we can say it is not a good abstract for the thesis. Now, on the other hand, there is another abstract for the same thesis. So please go through this. The aim of this thesis is to deploy and develop the ecological modernization theory to account for the role that local governments play in the climate governance. The theory has neglected to count for the role of local governments, a shortcoming this thesis addresses. We ask to what extent and in what way local governments in the UK contribute to nationally developed policy. We do so to better enable policymakers and academicians to understand the nuances of multi-level climate governance. Using a case study of recycling and housing policy, we show that local governments are both implementers as well as interpreters of the policy. We also show that they make innovative contribution to and influence the direction of national policies. The significance of this study is that it informs our theoretical understanding of the climate governance by introducing a focus on the local government. Heteroto lacking and informs our empirical understanding of housing and recycling policy. Now, again, try to understand and judge the abstract. Is it appropriate or not? So, in my opinion, this is appropriate. This abstract is much better as the earlier because it is able to answer these questions. So, first is why the thesis was written is stated. We do so to better enable policymakers. Means this is the reason to write this thesis. This is the reason behind this research work. Then next is the gap in literature. Clearly mentioned, the theory has neglected to account for the role of local government. That was the gap identified for this research. Then the research questions, we asked to what extent and in what way local governments in UK, so that is the research questions. Then methods, using a case study. Again, the findings, we show that local governments are both implementers and the interpreters of the policy. Means findings are also summarized and at the end, conclusion and the implication are the clear. The significance of this study is that it informs our theoretical understanding of the climate governance by introducing a focus on the local government. So we can say this abstract is appropriate. It contains all the essential information about the thesis. So try to write a good abstract for your thesis.